Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Andrew and today I'm going to be answering the question, can you start an Amazon FBA private label business for under £1,000? Firstly, when I started this video, I genuinely wasn't certain that you could start a product for under £1,000. So I challenged myself to go through as many products as possible to find one that when you account for all costs, so that's the cost of the goods themselves, shipping, VAT, duties, you could start it for under £1,000. So to answer the question, can you start with under £1,000? The answer is yes, but it absolutely depends on your goals. You can't really expect to be making more than £3,000 a month with just a £1,000 investment into a product. But you can in fact make a decent amount of revenue, so maybe £2,000 a month. Okay, having a budget of £1,000 puts quite a few restrictions on the kinds of products you can and the kinds of products you can't afford to go after. So I had to use certain criteria just to nail down the kinds of products you could afford to source for under £1,000. Firstly, the product itself has to be quite cheap to source. So I was looking for products under £3 a unit, and the reason for this is pretty obvious. Any more and ordering over 100 units, you're going to be soon going over that £1,000 threshold, especially with shipping and VAT. Next, I want to see products with low to medium demand, so that's 50 to 200 sales a month, I'm calling that. And the reason for this is, if you start looking at products that need 3, 4, 500 sales a month, then you're going to have to be ordering 1,000 units, and unless you're sourcing a product for well under £1, you're just not going to be able to afford to do it. Okay, the next thing I look for is a short lead time, and by this I just mean the amount of time from placing the order for your product to getting it fully manufactured. And the reason you want a short lead time if you're on a budget is because, say you order 200-300 products and you start selling 150, 200 units a month, then you're going to have to replace that stock really quickly. And if they can't turn around and get them made within 2-3 weeks, if it's looking more like a month to 2 months, then you're just going to go out of stock. And while it's not the end of the world, it's not really a position you want to be in. Finally, I want the product to be lightweight, so I've just said under 300 grams ideally. And there's two reasons for this. Firstly, it's going to lower the FBA fees, so the profit margins are going to be better, and it just makes shipping the product a lot cheaper. Shipping, surprisingly, especially on a £1,000 budget, is going to take up a lot of the budget. So you really want to be paying as little as possible for shipping. Okay, so this is the product I found that I think you could actually source and begin to sell for under £1,000. And what they are these vegetable produce bags. And I mean, you are not going to find a simpler FBA product. All they are these cotton bags that you basically put fruit and vegetables in to store them for longer. So in terms of the criteria I was looking for a product you could source for under £1,000, firstly, they're going to be lightweight. Okay, they're offering multi-packs here, but I can't see it being more than 200-300 grams in total. They should be cheap to source. I mean, they are just cotton bags at the end of the day. Okay, you might want, a bit of packaging, logos applied to it, but really I can't see them being more than £2-3. And also, the lead time should be fairly short. It's a real simple product. I thought a lot of suppliers will already have them, already prepared, and they'll just apply your logo to say the tag on the side. Okay, if we have a look at the Jungle Sky extension, we can see that there are average monthly sales of 90. And while that might not seem particularly exciting, it's actually a really good thing if you're on a budget, because it means you don't have to order as many units to sort of compete with the top sellers. If we take a look here on this Alibaba listing, it's the same sort of product we're looking at. Again, the price really quite low. I assume this is for one bag, so we're going to want, say, 6 or 8, but still the price is going to be relatively low. The lead time, 12 days, so that's already really good. So if we jump on the Amazon revenue calculator here, we've already put in a similar sort of product to what we're looking at. As you can see, the unit weight is 0.26 kilograms. That's ideal. That's really quite lightweight for an FBA product. So say we'd sell it at a price of $12.95 and cost to deliver to Amazon £1 maybe, and the cost of the product itself £2. You can be expected to be making around £6 profit per unit sold. So that's perfectly acceptable for an FBA product. Okay, so let's have a look at the data to see if we can actually source this product for under £1,000. Firstly, the average sales was around 100 a month. That would mean you're doing around 3 to 4 sales a day. So for a giveaway, you'd want to look at around giving away 30 units. So how I worked this out was I took the average daily sales and times it by 8 or 10. I think I used like 3.5 or something. And I've sort of got this from contacting Viral Launch about launching my own product and seeing how many units of that I would have to give away relative to the average daily sales for that product. The lead time, we're looking at around 14 to 20 days. I think the listing I found was 14 days, but a lot of the other ones are around 20 days. So somewhere around that is what you could expect for a lead time. The shipping time, of course you'll be able to use air because it is such a lightweight product. So you're looking at around 10 to 14 days for that, and maybe another 7 to 10 days for handling it. So, you know, in customs, getting it into the Amazon warehouse. Okay, so now we basically have all the data we need to try and work out how many units of this product we'd have to order. So using this equation where we take the average daily sales we can expect and we times it by all the days in between placing an order and getting the order in the Amazon warehouse, so we're looking at the lead time, the shipping by air and the handling, we get a figure for the sort of amount of units we'd have to order so that we could comfortably reorder in time without going out of stock. So for this product, it looks like it'll be around 150 units. But we also have to account for the giveaway, which we'll only have to do on the first order, but it will be an extra 30 units we'll have to order. So the total figure I've sort of come up with is 184. Now, I wouldn't go to a supplier and ask for 184 units of a product. You know, they'd probably laugh at you. So you're looking more like having to order 200 units. Okay, so let's see if we can source this product for under £1,000. Firstly, I estimated a cost of £2 for, say, a 6-pack. And with 200 units, that's £400. For the shipping, I worked that out to be £225, and I came to that figure from looking at the item weight being around 250 grams. So the net weight, obviously, with 200 units being 50 kilograms. Air shipping costs, from the estimates I've seen, are around £4.50 to £5 per kilogram. So that gives a total shipping cost of £225. Next up, you've got to pay VAT and duties. Now, not everyone knows about this when they first start learning about FBA. It's something I didn't realise. But you actually have to pay VAT and duties whenever you're importing a product from outside the UK into the UK. VAT is 20% and duties range anywhere between 3 and 10%. So I've gone with 5% here. So you pay VAT and duties on not only the cost of the goods themselves, but also the shipping you pay to get those goods into the UK. So here I've taken the cost of goods, £400, added the shipping cost, so £225, and found 25% of that, which was £156.25. Next up, you might want to do a giveaway. So I've accounted for a giveaway in the terms of the number of units you want to order, but the actual cost of the giveaway itself is around £75. I think it's $100 with viral launch. Now, you may want to get an inspection done. It may seem like a large portion of your budget to go towards just getting your goods inspected, but I definitely would recommend it. Also, you may want to get some professional photos done, or if you're really on a budget, you could try and do them yourself. But I definitely would recommend investing in good quality photos. Okay, finally, you're going to have to pay for the professional seller account, which is £30 a month. So in total, that is £986.25, so just under the £1,000 budget that we gave ourselves. Now, there may be other small costs I'm not accounting for, but for the most part, it should be around £1,000 to launch this kind of product. Okay, so I've shown that you can theoretically start an Amazon FBA private label product for under £1,000. But what's the ideal budget for an Amazon FBA business? Well, for those looking to make around £2,000 profit a month, which I just think is a good ballpark figure to aim for, you will need to be generating around £6,000 in revenue a month at around a 33% profit margin. Okay, let's work out the ideal budget for getting to that £6,000 a month in revenue. Let's take the example of a £20 product. We would need to be selling 300 units a month to be making £6,000 in revenue. So the total units needed is more around 600 to 700. And this is just to allow for enough time to get a reorder in as to not go out of stock. Okay, so let's have a look at the cost to source this kind of product. Firstly, I'm estimating around a £4 per unit cost. So over 700 units, that's going to be £2,800 on the cost of the product itself. Next up, you're going to have to pay shipping. So for a 300 gram product, for 700 units, it's going to cost around £945 to ship it by air. So if you don't know how I've worked that out, I've just taken the cost, the weight per unit of 0.3 kilograms, times it by how many units I've got, and then times it by £4.50, because typically air shipping is around £4.50 per kilogram. Next up, you're going to have to pay VAT and duties on the cost of the goods themselves and the shipping. So I've added those two figures together, found out 25% of that, and that just accounts for VAT and duties, so that's around £936.25. Next up, you're definitely going to want to get an inspection done on an order of this size, especially if it's with a new supplier. Now, I just wouldn't want to risk, getting £3,000 worth of inventory and it not being right, basically. So you definitely want to get an inspection done, and you're also going to want to get some professional photos done. So around 200, probably more closer to £300 actually for those two things. Next up, you're going to want to do a giveaway. So again, that's going to be £75 with viral launch. and that comes to a total cost of £4,956.25, so around £5,000. Okay, so I believe the perfect budget for starting an Amazon FBA private label product is around £2,500 to £7,000. Now, obviously, that's not to say you can't start with less than that. I just showed a product that I think you could source for under £1,000 and do quite well with. But at this kind of budget, you can start competing with those medium demand products, so £3,000 to £6,000 a month. And it, of course, just means you can get to that £6,000 a month in revenue a lot faster. But if you start with less, you can definitely get there. It's just going to take longer. Okay, thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in following my own FBA journey, as well as drop a comment on where you are with your own FBA journey, because I'm really interested in hearing the experience of everyone else.